Hello and welcome to Sporting Jibberish. If you remember last week, Stu said he was going to join Cycling Silliness and Lava Bates and Tom Keggin on their last 20k cycle ride of a mammoth 365-day challenge. Well, he was true to his word, so while I was out playing cricket and whining and dining my wife, look at what Stu got up to.
Right, so we are on our last 10 kilometres. I'm saying last, like I've just done 3,690. I'm joined here by Tom Keggins and Lara Bates. Guys, nearly finished. What are we thinking?
I want to sleep. That's what I want to do. Sleep and eat food.
No, really happy, and it's great to see everyone out today. We've got like 8 or 9 of us come to join us this morning, so it's good that everyone's come to support us as well. So thanks everyone.
Right, so just remind everybody, what were the charities you were looking for? Lara, we'll start with you first.
So my charity is Headway, and they support and help rehabilitate patients with brain injuries caused either by heart attacks or strokes and things like that. And obviously that's what my dad's going through at the moment, so that's why I've chosen that charity.
Yeah, mine was similar but slightly different. Mine's Mind, so it's sort of mental illness and depression, and I've got a few friends and family that have suffered with that as well. So it was a charity I chose because of that.
Yeah, and I'm sure all the charities back home will appreciate what you've done. Anybody that still wants to donate, what we'll do is we'll tag what is it called?
Cycling Silliness.
Cycling Silliness, easier to say. That just shows how much bike riding I've already done. I can't even speak. But yeah, we'll tag them in and you can follow their Instagram accounts and then link through there. You should be able to donate as well. Is that right, guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's enjoy the last 8 kilometres. Yeah!
Funny to see you getting giggle at it. Hello and welcome to Sporting Jibberish. I'm Stu Booth.
Oh, I'm jealous, man.
Oh, he's playing these games. You know what he's been saying to me just before we came on air is that he's tired, having spent 3 minutes with my wife talking. He's telling me that she's sending him to sleep.
It wasn't quite like that, Jill. I mean, you won't be listening anyway, so yeah, actually it was like that, so yeah.
Right, she's outside the door now, so I hope she wasn't here.
That's it.
You get shepherd hooked halfway through the show, we know why. Anyway, on to today's show. We're going to be covering last week's Premiership football, the paint drying session, as we know as the World Cup qualifiers.
I've got a couple of questions for you about that, because I know you love them.
Oh, brilliant. Really looking forward to this. So I've got Google next to me. Cricket World Cup. Is that what? Or is it World 20s? That's what T20s. Once infamous David Beckham free kick was 20 years old. Today, is it?
Yes, I think it's yesterday, Wednesday, but yeah, it's
So
20 this week.
quick look at that, and then fancy football winner from this week. We're going to start off with our sporting week. So Luffers played 2, won 1, lost 1, and third game. How did that go?
One big victory, 115-1 victory.
This, you're in uncharted territory. This is the biggest winning streak Dubai Wanderers have ever had.
I know, unbelievable.
Friday.
2 on bounce, lad. Yeah, no, good performance again. They weren't the best team.
When we said they're not the best team, how much did you call them out for?
88.
Was it our staff team?
Yeah, probably. The staff team probably better. No, they weren't the greatest, but you can only play what's in front of you at the end of the day. And obviously, as a new team, that's very cliche.
Oh, that was like, I thought that was like a brand
That was from my ECB media training. But we played really well. To be fair, good team performance. Clint got man of the match, and Cameron was also the wonder of the day. But everybody played their part against us really good. And without the captain, Dave was romanticising his wife for the weekend.
Oh my goodness, what type of commitment is that to the team?
I know, call him out.
I'd be calling him out. We used to have certain T-shirts for people that did stuff like that they would have to wear, and I'm hoping you've got something similar.
Well, it's funny because we've been working on that. And when I went to Dragon Mart last weekend with Sean, I was like, I'm going to get like a dodgy pink cowboy hat or something like that. But didn't get around to it. But we are working on that because he would definitely win this week. Whatever anybody else did on the field at the weekend, Dave Skipper, you'd be having that.
Ours was a pink T-shirt which had no very nice writing on it.
Yeah. We had a few in my time. We had one point we were a bit younger at Boston. My dad always wore pink polo shirts. He just loved it. So we had the Johnny Pink of the day, but it was like in his size.
Oh, beautiful.
So you can
get
imagine
6 of them.
Yeah. And then we've had baby suits. We had a Hooters outfit at one point, and you had to wear a little vest. In fact, there's a picture of me in it flying around. So
please don't ever ruin my image of Hooters by you. Do not even put it on. Right,
I'm going to find it.
I'm going to move. So I'm just guessing that Dave's match fee is probably being put back into the kitty.
Yeah, treble, fine, double match fee. But yeah, but anyway, we won. 2 on the bounce, very good performance.
And personally?
19 at the top.
You're hoping I wasn't going to say anything, weren't you?
That's fine. I'm quite happy with that. I've got to accept that at the minute I'm playing a different role. So I am the aggressor.
Oh yeah, and a bit of an injury.
Yeah, weird. It's my TSL hip. I had some physio. Yeah, just like first over went to sweep, shock for those people who know how bad, and it just like it felt like like a cramp goes or whatever like that. And weird. It was struggling. I was struggling Saturday and Sunday. Some physio Monday, bit of dry needling in there from Sven.
I don't even know where to go with that comment.
His air crew as well, Has a girlfriend in Japan.
He does,
he said.
Yeah.
He got his needle in there on his elbow.
We're still talking about the dry needling now, mate. Just checking.
And yeah, she's a bit better, but I've got to take it a bit easy. But obviously, he said really I shouldn't play at the weekend.
So you take into the physio's advice of not playing?
No, I'm in Saturday afternoon.
I hope Dave's not back in. He shouldn't change it when
Skip
he
it. I mean, I'm not anything to do with the selection committee. I'm the chairman. I'm not. I've had enough of that selection committee palaver. But he's in.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, young lad's injured, actually has got an injury, he's got some shin splints, so whether that swayed the decision, I don't know. But not for me to comment about.
Should never change a winning team.
No.
Should never change a winning team, Dave.
So, yeah, we played Desert Kings Saturday afternoon at 7s, and then the second team played a debut game tomorrow night.
That's interesting.
In Ajman against Marsh FC, and Marsh CC. Yeah, we've got 9 players at the moment for that. We'll be okay.
But good news is we've seen the Cookmeister come out of retirement, and as every time these two tell me in work, just turn it, just ball a few over, and then it's they both swing the ball.
Yeah, he came last night, Cookie. I was big in Duckers. I think he fair says a bit rusty to begin with, but you can say he's played a bit, so hopefully he's got the bug, although he was walking like the Tin Man today when I saw him.
Is that why he was 15 minutes late for his lesson?
What's it? You've just thrown him under the bus. 15 minutes?
I don't know if it was 15, it might have been 5, but 15 sounds
it was probably, was that this afternoon?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was talking to me in the office.
I was like, just kept running past, just something dart past my head. Oh, sorry.
He was talking to me in the office about 50 Shades of Grey.
Nah, who's throwing who under the bus?
And Sven. But how was you started your season last night, didn't you?
Yeah, so I, similar to Jack, I had a physio appointment 2 days ago.
We're not old, really.
Yeah, on my Achilles tendonitis. It said that the issue was coming from my gastrocnemius.
What's that?
My calf.
Right,
My baby
layman's terms.
My baby cow.
We don't do standard deviation or medical terms.
Yeah, also I do apologise. I just imagine these PE teachers knowing all this information that nobody else knows.
The world's gone mad. I told you, this pandemic sent the world mad.
Yeah, so I went to see the old physio and she was like, yeah, you got a massive knot in your calf for you, Jack. And then she basically just said, take it easy, don't do anything impact that's going to hurt your Achilles. And definitely don't do anything the next 2 days for your calf because there's obviously lots of knots in there. Did a bit of dry needling as well. And then put some strapping on, and then off I went.
Put a what? Some strapping
on. She didn't put a strap on. Strapping it on. This is going south already, this Jad. You're in that 50 Shades of Grey you've been reading today.
I've not been reading it at school.
Right. But yeah, last piece of advice was do not do anything for the next 2 days. I didn't have the heart at that point to tell it was the first game of the season last night. So I just walked out.
So you just straight to the ground?
No, I had a day's rest between.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so we had the first game of the season, moved me to centre back. Played Bears FC, who are they've got like a decent sized squad like us, can turn up and have a really good team, and then at other times can turn up and have average. And I would have said they would have had half decent team last night. but we were just comfortable. You know, we were in control for the majority of the game. Finished 4-1. Should have finished 6 or 7. Missed, I think, Mania missed an open goal. Gaz got kind of caught between shooting and squaring the ball and kind of didn't do either. And then there's a few other misses where could have put the game to bed and just had an easy evening. Had one shot, tipped over.
So the top goal scorer has been moved to centre half. It's a bold decision.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, the strip lad that played up front, Dave Rosa, is a good player. I think he says he played, ex-Argentina second division, but I do question that ability at times. Sometimes there's flares of awesomeness, but then other times it's just.
I hope we don't listen to this.
Yeah, well, I couldn't understand. He's Argentinian. He barely understands what's going on the pitch. Never mind what's going on in the changing room. But yeah, he scored a hat trick, so no complaints from him.
You ain't get back up front, then, are you?
Not looking that way.
It's my turn to turn the tables here, isn't it?
Well,
you're not going to get. You've been bombed, top goal scorer, been bombed to centre half.
You could say that, but then if you sort it out at the back and you can still pinch goals up front.
I think my old man will tell you once that when he played back in the day, that he was top goal scorer from centre half in one season.
Yeah,
he scored 3 goals.
I need a taxi to get back to and from the pitch.
Bella Scooter.
Yeah, well, we did get a penalty, and he gave it to the guy who was on 2 goals, and I was like, not only have I been put in centre half, you've taken penalties off me as well.
Ooh.
And he just ignored me. No,
well.
I wasn't that bothered. To be fair. I was looking at it, I was like, it's the other end of the pitch. I'm so tired. It was so hot.
And you shouldn't be playing because you got a back calf.
Yeah, Gastronius was a bit sore.
Gastronius.
Yeah, Tenders was going on both sides. But yeah,
I remember that.
first game of the season, 4-1 win. Biggest result of the night was Irish, who finished second to us last year, who are a very strong team, lost to the Turks 4-1, which is a surprise result considering the Turks aren't usually a strong competitive team, but believe have brought some youth into their team. And we say youth, we're talking about 35-year-olds.
The youth in the vets, but the lower end of the veteran scale.
Oh yeah, if you've got a lot of lads that have just come out of playing decent standard and at 35, are a lot fitter and faster than others, then it makes a huge difference. But yeah, onwards and upwards, training Sunday, and then next match next Wednesday. I have no idea who we're playing, but
Flying.
Doesn't matter, does it?
Flying.
49 games unbeaten now.
And I see that
20-something wins in a row.
I see that All Stars now on Instagram, so get following the All Stars on
Yes,
Instagram.
I'm not even following myself. It was you that taught me this morning, so I'll have a look at that.
And of course, follow the Wonders as well.
Yes, yeah, get yourself on board and see how we're providing. It looks like I've managed to sneak my way out of the other team, the team that we're going to be supporting, Jibberish Nation, that have just gone back to Nations.
Well, we're not.
We're not even interested in
done.
that.
We're done.
I've handed my kit in and fully stepped back now. So
Don't even resign. Toys have gone.
no toys. I was trying to get out, and they're using the podcast as a way to keep me in. Now it's not happening. I've slowed.
So we've only got franchising cricket now at the minute.
Yeah, at the moment. Yeah,
Right.
but they've not changed the WhatsApp group. Still says Sporting Jibberish Nation. So all good in that. Right, let's get on with Premiership. So last weekend saw Premiership. It's just again as it starts to get interesting. They won't stick a stupid international break in the middle of it.
International break.
It just does my nut in, and I reckon that probably 90% of football fans will probably agree that, you know, I understand why internationals need to happen, but to have two so close to each other,
and at the beginning of the
starts-
season,
I just think it starts to get a bit of a flaw to it. United 1-1 with Everton, but in all honesty, if Tom Davies had gone with the right option, Everton won that game 2-1. I don't understand, because as a player, especially a player of that level, as he goes to play the pass, he will see him slightly in front of him, and he will have known as soon as he's passed that ball, he was offside.
Yeah. What do you think of Solskjaer leaving Ronaldo on the bench?
I think you've got to be realistic that you've got a 35-year-old player there that is not going to be able to manage the full duration of the season. So rotating them does make sense in order to keep them fresh for other times. And they'd had a Champions League game on the Wednesday. So you'll know as well as I do, the couple of days after are so key to your body. And look, he's not in anywhere near the shape we are.
No, I know he's not. He needs to put his finger out.
He needs to get himself in the gym a bit more. Look at the
I mean,
fine person sat here.
I've been able to
chest on that.
I've been able to play back-to-back games after a night out in Europe.
I think he's just protecting Ronaldo a bit and going, you know what, you've got enough quality in the squad, which they have, to potentially turn Everton over. But I generally think that if you swap Benitez with Solskjaer on either side of the dugout, United will be winning the league.
I get the rotation thing, but I just think at home he's got a bit of momentum to a degree. He's fine against Everton. I can understand if it was say Norwich or Watford. Everton are, they're not going to be up there, but they're clearly, and we know that Benitez's side is always difficult to beat. He was going there not to get beaten. We know. I just thought it was a bit strange. I always like to go the other way.
But would you
play 50, 60 minutes, get it in, and then bring him off?
But would you say that if you hadn't had Ronaldo in the team this year, would you expect United or last season United to beat Everton?
Yes, I would. Yeah.
So I think the aspect of leaving Ronaldo in or out is pretty redundant to a degree, because United, whatever team we put out, would still expect to beat Everton.
Yeah, I agree with that. But
in front of the fans as well.
But keep on in the wheel.
You know, I loved Townsend when he scored his goal. Did the old
Fabulous,
Ronaldo.
wasn't it?
Oh
It was
my
fabulous.
goodness. Richie Keys went mad. Going, that's disrespectful. I'm like, no, that's class.
Yeah. And he said afterwards, Townsend, didn't he? Because he speaks well. Said that it wasn't disrespect. He's actually my idol, and to share a picture with him and stuff like that. But I thought it was brilliant. Right? He's just done
a lot of rubbish.
Brilliant.
But other game results there. Burnley 0, Norwich 0. So Norwich have finally stopped their losing streak. Still haven't got a winning streak yet, but I mentioned this to Sadler last night. He's like, but we've stopped our losing streak.
And he made an interesting point, didn't he? That they're only 2 points after the relegation zone.
Yeah, just the way the games have happened, and obviously only 7 games in, and there's 4 teams now that haven't won, which is what you were saying to us last night. Yeah. Is that you're not out of it yet? Because I asked him the question, how long do you keep Daniel in charge for? And he was like, he's done a superb job over the last 3 years for them. He seems to think Norwich fans are starting to get their backs up a little bit, but he seems to think Christmas time would be a good time to review. But then at the same time, his one question to us was, who do you replace him?
And I agree with that. I think that maybe Norwich kind of accepted that yo-yo team. So come Christmas, it's a two-way thing. If you're dead and buried, what is the point of changing and go, actually, Daniel, do what you did last year, get us back up, and we're going to have to somehow invest and get a bit better for next time? Or do you go, let's try and get out of it? Who would you go for?
Yeah, well, I said Allardyce would be a potential option. He's got a proven track record of keeping teams up there.
Dinkley West Brom, did he last time? Was it West Brom? Who did he have?
It was West Brom.
West Brom,
but he's got a proven track record of doing it, and off a shoestring budget. So that wouldn't be the worst shout, but I think for Norwich fans, it's not about just staying up, it's about the long-term investment. Yeah. But if you've got Grant Hanley as your captain and you set it what on earth are you expecting? And that's no disrespect, because Hanley's a good championship player, but he's a championship player. He's not a Premiership player.
I know we sit and go, he's absolutely dog dirt. I mean, he's obviously not dog dirt because he's a professional footballer, but my old man always said a lot of time, but he always said to me, he said, there'll be a lot better footballers who have chosen not to pursue a game because they've got a good career in law or teaching or anything like that, and not have the looks. And once you're in a system, if you're prepared to work hard and you're actually half decent, then you keep going, keep improving. And he's got to be one of those, because, tongue in cheek, he's rubbish, he can clearly play, but he's nowhere near Premiership football. I mean, you said Championship, I don't even think he's that, but what is it between Championship League One, I guess. But yeah, Norwich, I think they'll go anyway. And Burnley are struggling this year. Yeah, it could be the year for Burnley.
We will see.
The Chinese year of Burnley.
Doesn't sound good for the Burnley fans in Turf War. Chelsea 3, Southampton 1. I watched this game. Southampton were doing okay until Ward-Prowse does that tackle. Yeah. And at first, I thought it wasn't that bad. But then the more you watch it, you're just thinking, I know you were trying to pinch it and you were going more the angle of the ball, but you've just absolutely nailed that leg, and just in a nasty way. And thankfully, Joe jumps up and he's all right, because it could have been so much worse. That could have been a snapped ankle or a shin bone. Just kept it simple there, not a tib or a fib.
I get them ones actually.
But it was just a silly tackle to. But I understand as a footballer, if you think, we just pinch it now, we've got a chance of scoring. And Ward-Prowse, unfortunately, has just got a little bit too excited and made what was an innocent challenge into a potential leg breaker. So I don't think there's any arguments. And then Chelsea probably edged it, before that point, even though Southampton had played well. And then run out 3-1. Leeds 1, Watford 0. I thought it was going to be a goal fest. A bit disappointed in that aspect.
I think Watford really poor second manager. Bit bizarre,
early, isn't it?
Getting again Ranieri. I know he'd always be a bit of a legend when he was in the Premier League, but is he really?
He did well off a team that Pearson built.
Yeah, and then just got rode the crest of one hell of a wave, didn't they? I'm not sure that's a good appointment.
No. Wolves 2, Newcastle 1. So good to get Wolves on the brink. What annoys me most about this is I took Wang Gao that day. Scores 2, doesn't it?
But of course, it could be. Rumour today is that the Saudi Arabian takeover could happen.
Yeah, with Newcastle now things have cleared over with the piracy.
And it's not government owned or kingdom owned as it is there. And I was looking at the potential owner. I think it was one of the top Twitter accounts I follow. Apparently, the potential owner every year is worth $320 billion.
So he would be the richest owner.
10 times what the
Man
Etihad
City.
man or the Man City owner is. Mansour, whatever. So the comment was, the game's gone. It's not be interesting. But you've still got to, it doesn't matter how much money you've got.
You've got to invest.
You've still got to attract, you've still got to invest.
Yeah.
You've still got the right manager.
Newcastle is such a strange place because they'll never struggle for fans. The atmosphere is amazing. It's just that nobody wants to go live in Newcastle.
Yeah.
It's freezing.
They'll just fly them all up there, won't they? From training from
Saudi.
Saudi.
They'll have a training base in London or somewhere.
Yeah.
But Brighton 0, Arsenal 0, which is good for my fantasy football. Bad news for Arsenal, good news for Spurs. Sunday came and went. We saw Palace 2-2 with Leicester. Leicester 2-0 up, threw that away. You would think that Rodgers, bottle man, would have showed up, but maybe just bottled it again. Spurs getting a good result against Villa.
Better.
Slowly.
Better.
Evan, Son looked a handful.
Yeah, I think he was obviously the difference on the day. Better, could have been. Don't get me wrong, Villa had the chance. It was actually a decent game. Spurs could have had 3 or 4. Keeper had made 2 or 3 good saves from Kane and Son.
It was Emerson who was going up against, was it Target?
Yeah.
Them 2 kicked ups at each other. I was like, how are these 2 not being booked?
Yeah.
And I just thought, one more challenge from one of these and they're definitely getting booked.
Yeah, it was good, better. So it was 3 points and a bit lower, Sabra was saying, although I think level-wise we're way off. We're actually 2 points off top 4.
Yeah.
And I think if you'd said, particularly with 2 of the City first and Chelsea, if you said after 7 games you're 2 points off top 4, you'd have taken it.
This is what I mean from United fans, but I'm literally saying to United fans, you've not played any of the big teams.
Yeah, you're right. I mean,
United are like, oh well, we're only a couple of points off top, and I'm like, yeah, but Liverpool have played Chelsea and City, alright, be at home, still 2 absolute massive games. Spurs have played City, Chelsea have played
everybody,
Spurs, Liverpool, and City. And you're like,
City obviously doesn't. Yeah.
I think United's first big test probably Liverpool.
And obviously we've played Arsenal as well in the derby. That obviously we got hammered in, but it's no, you did right. Like I said, level wise, we're way off.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it won't matter if you points.
Even the big 4 or your big 2 or 3 this year, Liverpool, City, and Chelsea, are just not picking up the points they probably want to. It's a bit of a stutter at the moment.
Yeah, and what you said at the top of the show actually probably to do with the fact that this is the second break we've had already.
Yeah. Well, the other game that happened at the same time was West Ham 1, Brentford 2. Brentford, talking about riding the crest.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's going to happen at the moment. Kinder Egg scored again.
He is a hell of a manager, by the way.
Yeah,
he is one of Tottenham to go after.
But you talk about managers, and that's what I was thinking about with Norwich City. Is that if there's a championship manager that's doing well at that time, is it a case of they do a switch? But having a great start to the season, and then was what could only be described as probably the game of the weekend, Liverpool versus City, which I said this at the beginning of the show, and I probably said this not at today's show but last week, and then told lots of people is both teams don't go to draw the game, don't go to lose it. They just go, this is how we play football. It's Liverpool versus City, and whoever performs best on the night will win the game. And Liverpool first 10 I thought played really well. and then for the remaining 35 minutes, it was City were just absolutely battered us.
Yeah.
Phil Foden's missed a couple of chances. Definitely the one where Alisson makes a good save. I think Foden shows a bit of composure and lifts it. We're 1-0 down, and then start the second half. Liverpool come out of the traps. It's like they just need a rocket.
Yeah.
Slightly changed the system with the way they were defending areas and marking people, and then Liverpool go 1-up. Phil Foden then scores a great goal from the ground. I think somebody was saying Alisson's position. I was like, it was just one of them shots where it just couldn't have gone in any better position.
And you talked about reaction earlier.
Yeah.
Wasn't it on the show? It was when we were talking off air.
Yeah.
That's just one of the things that sometimes your reactions just aren't good enough.
Yeah.
And that doesn't make you a bad goalkeeper.
I just don't think no matter what had happened, he was just in the perfect spot. And it was a bit like Mo Salah's hit.
Yeah.
Which is unbelievable. If you've not seen it, you just need to go and watch this because he's surrounded by 3 City players. One does dive in, he scoots past them, then sends Laporte for a hot dog.
Yeah.
And then outside of the right foot, so his wrong foot, hits it across goal and it hits the far post and pops in.
Yeah.
And again, one of them shots that just couldn't have been any
If
better
you see it in
placed.
slow motion, you go, keeper should save that.
Yeah.
When you see it in fast motion and
The ball's
the
gone
power
past him
against
before
it,
he-
just gone. Yeah. It was a
and-
hell of a game.
And then De Bruyne hits a shot, and it's such a shame because Matip had such a good game to that point, where Alisson has that shot covered. Because when you're looking at it, Alisson's just going, yeah, I'm just going to catch it here and just claps on it. And then Matip comes across to try and block it, hits Matip in the gut, and then just goes straight in the middle of the goal. But I think on reflection, 2-2 is fair, and then Fabs has that chance right at the end.
Yeah. Hell of a block.
Oh, yeah.
Should hit it first time.
I don't think so because I think the speed it comes at and the angle he's at, I think he does everything right. I think maybe if you're being ultra critical, maybe it was a little bit heavy touch
Yeah.
because he had to then step into it. If it had stopped dead and just one smooth action, there's no way he's getting anywhere near it.
It was a hell of a block.
It's
He's come from nowhere, hasn't he?
He's 5 yards behind him when that ball comes through and he takes that first touch. He's 5 yards behind him, and then his leg just appears from nowhere.
Great block. Milner should have been sent off though.
Yeah, you know what, it's definitely second yellow, there's no argument about it. I just don't know if the referee had give himself a little bit of, because I think Henderson has a nick at him first. If you look at it, when he first goes through, Henderson clips forward and Ford managed to keep on, and then obviously he's cut across, and Milner's just a little bit lazy tackle, you know, you just dangle your leg back.
Yeah.
Just in hold.
And I think that's why, I mean, you might say the first one wasn't a yellow or whatever, but at that point, it didn't matter, does it?
No, and I think Klopp did the right thing, was literally Shepard hooked him straight off. But for the first ever time in Sky Sports history, they were awarded 2 man of the
I know,
match.
yeah. Still will never sit on the fence, though. Like, didn't want to side with
I would have gone with Foden, just because I thought Foden was an absolute thorn in the
away
side.
from home as well.
Yeah, and the finish was right. Mo Salah's goal was awesome, but apart from, you know, he obviously set up Mane for the first one, but it was relatively quiet.
Yeah, it was quiet. But I would have given it to Foden. But it's interesting, the debate afterwards in the Sky Sports studio, and I tend to agree. Mika Richard disagreed with the comment, but and it's nothing against Jack Grealish. I think he's a wonderful player. But when you see Foden, when you see Foden play like that, and you already had Sterling there, and Bernardo Silva, and Torres is sort of a wide forward, you still think the City should have spent 100 million plus on a striker, whoever that was, rather than Grealish, because, and obviously Jesus is kind of beginning to become those wide forwards rather than number 9. They kind of look a little bit overnumbered in those areas.
I'd say that. I think they tried Grealish because originally they tried Foden the week before as a false 9, and it wasn't effective. So I think they tried Grealish. But you've got to remember, you're playing against the likes of Matip and Van Dijk.
Yeah.
So for a non-centre forward that not sure where he's in, and you've got Fabs in front of you, it was always shielding and protecting. It's very difficult to pick up pockets. But I think if you play Grealish as a false 9 against a different team, whether that be United, where they don't have that much, you know, centre-halves at United are quality, but they don't have that Fabs in front of them. There's not many teams in the Premiership that do have a player of that quality, and I think Grealish would probably maybe to exploit it a bit more.
I don't know if it was because I said at the time, and forget that he's always been a great move. And to be fair, he's played every game, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And obviously, so Pep obviously really rates him. So that answers your question. It's almost like, well, you're playing, it's everyone else going to fit around you, and if I have to move you from that left, I will. Yeah. I just wonder, like, you'd be better, there'd be a better silent striker, I think. Yeah. But hey-ho.
Right, okay, we'll move on to this weekend's fixtures, which I've already arranged to do lots of things with the family, so I'll have to stay in. Just give me that little bit of leeway when it comes to when the Premiership's back on. So,
you're not watching Andorra Saturday evening, 11:15 tonight at our time?
I'm not, no. So yeah, you've got England have got 2 games coming up in this next 7-day period. Andorra away and then Hungary at home. I think after that point, if they win both of them, that's them qualified, isn't it? Because I think Poland 5 points behind.
Yeah, I think so. I know the draw that England had in the last round of qualification did keep Poland a hunt a little bit, but
I think after them 2, that should be England safe and sealed. But in the other news, the Euro League finals, Nationals finals, is this weekend. So Spain actually beat Italy last night when we recorded the podcast today, which takes out, was it 37? 37 yeah. Not quite the same level as All Stars, because we're at 48 or 49 now. But we're lucky Italy. Maybe next time, maybe we'll have a game against you. We'll see who comes out on top. But yeah, bad loss for Italy because they would have fancied the chances, and I think keeping 11 men on the pitch might have helped. But yeah, 2-0 to Spain at the time. Oh, sorry, it was 1-0 at the time. Bonucci gets sent off, then they scored just before half time, and then Pellegrini, I think, got one just towards the end.
It's funny with Italy, and I said it at the time, I'm not. We've rewatched elements of the Euro final, and I cannot believe to this day how the 2 centre halves both stay on the pitch. Not just on the pitch, don't get. I know he got booked in for the drag back on the.
It's the dark arts. That's what it is. Italians are known for it.
And the referee wasn't strong enough.
Yeah.
Anyway, by the by.
Yeah, best team won on that night. And then yes, they did. And then we look at the other.
Really remember it.
Is that? Was it Silver Feather?
Silver Feather.
Silver
Ever and Blue Cow that we were drinking.
Yeah, Baku, well worth a visit.
Yeah. Did you get that? Did you get the sense? Paul Walker, I got a email the other day to rate from the Baku tourist board or Afghanistan, not Afghanistan, Azerbaijan tourist board. Rate your trip. I had one.
Well, no, they probably didn't because they charged me $6,000 in.
But also, I worked it out because I think your visa's still standing because you end up buying a 12-month one or something.
Yeah, I've got like 3 visas on the go, I think.
So you'll get it when that one's out.
Yeah.
2024.
And then the other game is Belgium or France will play in the final. That's in the 3rd and 4th place playoff. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So interesting there. I can imagine Belgium will win that game against France, and then I think Belgium to beat Spain as well. But yeah, that is pretty much it. It's international football, which drives me insane.
Very quickly, before we move on, that's my question. So you hate them, and I get the point of what is the point of qualifying again, England playing some of these lesser nations. I like the Euro Nations competition because at least it's competitive. Now, whatever you think about, it's a bit like the Europa League, Europa Conference, Carling Cup or whatever, but at least it's competitive. If you don't treat it that way, that is on you, not on the competition. So 2 things. Why don't they either make qualification, and in Europe probably more so than anywhere else in the world because there's so many nations, like a 2-tier thing? So actually, and you could even make the Euro Nations thing the actual pinnacle. You've got to qualify from that to play in that, and then if you win that, that's when you qualify for the major tournaments. Rather than England go to play San Marino, Andorra, and somebody else in the same group.
I think, do you not get a pass in if you win the Euro Nations?
I think you do. I'm just talking about
if you 2-tiered it, let's imagine you're in the 2nd tier competition.
Yeah.
Is it going to be anyone to watch?
No, I don't know that.
Or is it basically like, are we just going down the road of let's forget about winning an elitism, we're just going to go for sport for all? Does everybody get a certificate and a medal after competing in championships?
No, and I think that's.
Are you one of them guys, yeah?
No.
You are right. Yeah. Did everybody get a wonder of the day at the end of the cricket just to make sure nobody felt left out?
One person.
No.
And it was me last week. Not everybody. I think.
Yeah, I get what you're saying because it's good for probably the lower nations to probably experience that type of tournament football. But is that not for them to invest as a target to eventually get there? Because we have had countries come through there before. You take Slovakia or Slovenia and Montenegro, countries like that, and Andorra.
And Iceland, obviously,
Not Andorra. What was the one that Arnautovic plays for?
Austria.
Is he Austrian?
Yeah.
But you got nations like that that potentially never go. Switzerland weren't much of it.
Yeah.
Go back 20 years, they were.
Yeah, there is that. I don't. I'm just thinking because the flip side of that, they can't invest. If say Andorra can't invest, if England don't go and play there, or Germany and Belgium.
But that probably solves that by the fact that you keep it in that aspect. But as a second tier competition, no, I don't. I just think that.
Do you want to have them winning it? I don't mean like a competition as in like a different Euro, like getting something so they have to then get into the next bracket where they can then qualify for major tournaments.
It's a bit like what UAE are doing now. So the UAE have had a qualifying round of teams qualify from that, and now they're in the second tier group.
Yeah. And
then the winners, the top two from that, then go through to play against the Australasian teams, don't they? And then from there, so many teams make it through to the World Cup.
Are they not?
But is it because Europe's so strong that they can't do that?
I don't know.
Because is it fair just to say automatically every year England, Spain, France, Germany, Belgium qualify?
No, I wouldn't.
Because go back to '94, England had a pretty decent team then and didn't even.
Yeah, and the same in 2000 and whenever, Bolly with the Bolly or whatever. No, I just think, I do, don't get me wrong, I do get the fact that, and it must be difficult for the players. I know people will say you play for 3 lines, but away at Andorra on a plastic pitch with 20 fans and knowing that, let's be honest, unless something ridiculous happens, you're going to win. Yeah. And it doesn't really matter what 4-5, no, just a win's a win, isn't it? Yeah. But I don't know. Anyway, I'll be watching, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, we'll see. Right, cricket World T20.
I just wanted to say that I got some tickets, didn't I?
You did? What games did you get?
England West Indies.
Opening game, isn't it?
England's opening game, so they haven't got the tournament yet, and England Australia.
Tasty.
Tasty, yeah.
How many tickets do you get?
So we've got 4. I've got 4 for each game.
And who are you taking?
Well, it's open to.
Anybody wants to get involved?
So if you want to come, Stu, watch some paint dry.
I thought I was going to say I think I've got painting to do. But to be fair, T20 is a different kettle of fish completely. All high impact, action packed, something's going on all the time type of thing. But where are the games at?
Bar Stadium.
Alright, okay. Is that the same Dubai Stadium's hosting UAE versus Iran tonight? Or is it the cricket oval?
Cricket game, yeah.
Right, okay, because Dubai.
Where are they playing at tonight?
Sabeel Stadium in Dubai. Oh. So it's actually, when you text me this morning, just to slightly go off topic, is UAE play Iran tonight in the World Cup qualifier. Yeah. So I had a look, 20 dirhams to get into an international game.
£4.
£4. I was like, Jack, we're on it. And then I read that you needed 17 injections, 63 PCR tests, and a partridge of pear tree.
So the PCR test was dearer than the ticket?
Yeah, you had to have a PCR test within 48 hours and double vaccination, which needed to be within 6 months, or a booster or a third vaccination.
But we're all right. We've
got 73 different vaccinations.
We're like the United Nations of vaccines.
Yeah, if you cut me open, I'm not sure what to pour out.
Like
noodle juice or blood.
Like Skittles, you know that Skittle advert?
Yeah, taste the rainbow. That's see, you've gone again.
Right.
50 Shades of Grey.
I didn't mention it.
Right. Anything else about the T20?
No, I'm just looking forward to it. England to win.
We shall look at that. Anniversary day was 2 days ago or yesterday.
Yesterday,
20 years ago since David Beckham's free kick against Greece to draw the game 2-2 and qualify England through into the next stage.
2002 Japan was that?
2002. Yeah, after being, were they 2-0 down? Oh, it was 1-0 down, 1-1. Then 2-1 down, and then 2-2.
Sheringham scored, like you say, from a Beckham free kick.
So it's one of them memorable moments. Where were you at that point?
So I think when I was at university, we're trying to decipher this. I was obviously at university, beginning of what would have been my last year, and I remember watching it, but I can't just remember whether I was at uni with the lads or whether I'd gone home for the weekend. I can't remember, but I do remember watching it because I think still to this day, I think it's as good an England performance from a single person I've ever seen, because he did basically run the show. I know that the ironic thing is that he's remembered for that great free kick, and you said before we came on that actually he lied that but he just was all over the place, and it is one of those iconic moments, wasn't it? But so that's where I was, and I was thinking 20 years ago. Whereabouts were you?
We actually had a game that day. I I was playing for Squaresgate, and we just actually had the stadium. It's dead bizarre. You remember these weird things. We're having the change rooms rebuilt, so we're actually in chicken huts or porter cabins just outside the ground. And I remember just walking back in after the game. I can't remember who we played. I can't remember what score it was. And then Emma's going, "Oh my goodness, we're losing to Greece 2-1." And then literally just popped up on his phone, equalised 2-2, and we all just started cheering. We couldn't see what's going on, but just cheering the fact that we'd drawn the game 2-2 and obviously qualified. But yeah, I had a great season that year. It was my year of going out on a Friday night, turning up to football, not in a great state, and then having a great season up until the chairman's curse. We had about 5 or 6 games left this season. Not even been, because we've just gone back to midweek games towards the end of the season. So maybe we had like 8 or 9 games left. And we drive to a game, and he was like, "I'm just going to tell you, Stu," he said, "I've never seen you have such a good season. You've been absolutely brilliant this year." And I had the worst finishing 8 games of the season ever to none to man.
Mr. Chairman.
Just absolutely ruined me. It might have been the way he drove. He was like the worst driver. He'd like accelerate up to 70 or go 75, realise, and then brake. So you're like, and this is all the way down the motorway, and I can't think where we played. Must be the other side of Manchester. It was a good 45-minute journey, and I remember getting out of the car, having like feeling really good about what he said, and then also feeling really sick about the car journey. Emma's got booted in the face that day, actually. It's caught in San Jose.
Nice. But in 2001, obviously that was the year that was Boston, and we won the league to get into the Premier League. So that was a really good season. We won the league. I finished top of the league runs, and the night that it was foot and mouth year as well.
Oh yes.
2001. So the night we were meant to play, our nearest rivals were Burley Park, and Burley Park play at Burley House. But of course, the house, because it's in a state and there's animals and stuff like that, was shut. So the league kept putting it off because it looked like we were going to run away with the league. But then we went and lost at home to Spalding, went and lost at home to Sleaford. So we still had to technically play the game. Well, not technically, we had to play the game. Even though we only needed like 4 points or something on that last day. So they moved it to another place called Empingham. Anyway, we won. Well, we won the game. We got the points, obviously, by that. Anyway, the club had bought us like winning polo t-shirts. We're getting them on. We've got champagne in the dressing room. You can imagine like that. And then me and Tiger, Phil Sneath, said, "Tonight, every goal England score, triple at the bar." And then we're going out after that. Like, okay, I'm up for that. Tiger's not a problem. Of course, that's the night, which is ironic because they had struggled to qualify, was when they beat in Germany 5-1. So you can imagine the state it was like after, we've had a few travels on the way back. It would have been 45 minutes back to Boston from Stamford. Watched the game in the club. Oh my God, that was the night we finally got out tonight because we had Luke Ressing was in a wheelchair, was one of our sort of members and fans, and he came out with us. And my brother, who didn't drink that night, bizarrely, he was driving, took him and a couple of us home, and apparently when they got home, they couldn't get the wheelchair to work. So, one of them had to carry him into the house, and then, he was like, "Yeah, leave me here, I'll be fine." So it was an absolute night. But yeah, that was 20 years ago.
I know, frightening. We actually, we got promoted that same season. But,
It's written in the stars.
It was.
20 years ago.
Fancy football. Talking about writing things into stars. Okay, this week's winner was our very own Welshman, Mr. Mike Morgan.
Oh, head of music.
With a magic 69 points.
He's an Arsenal fan.
What was it?
Yeah.
Oh, we don't like him.
5% discount for you.
Oh, okay, yeah. You actually paid us for the discount.
No, well done, Michael. Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations. So, going well. How are you getting on with fancy football, Jackie boy?
I've done it, mate. I can't get over the fact that I'm not doing very well. My team's actually decent, but nobody's scoring. So I bought the Lukaku in, he's not scored a point since. Kane can't score in the Premier League. I don't know what else is going on.
Well, last 2 weeks I've done just better than average, but thankfully everybody above me has not done much better. So in regards to top place, I'm still only 40 points within first place. In 13.
I've done that bad. Somehow they've deleted my team off the app. Look,
it does not surprise me it was that bad.
Oh, I'm back here. I'm back.
Bottom is still Henry Grant. Bertie Leduc, another Arsenal one, is 101st, and then the Luffs gang is 99th, and your dad has gone above you, he's on 95th.
99th. Just rubbish. I don't know where to go. I'll have a look. We've got an international break. I need it. I absolutely need it. You're going alright, aren't you?
Yeah, 13th in our league, topping a few others, doing all right. Like I said, these last 2 weeks have been. I'm frustrated because if I kept Hwang in, nobody else had him. So that would have been 13 points that nobody else would have had, which would have pushed me a little bit higher. So a bit frustrated with myself for that. But now I'm sat there debating, do I go back to Hwang? But they always say you should never go back.
Yeah, once you've been somewhere.
That's what they say.
But
end of the day, Jack.
to win.